Have I ever told you about the time I won the DECA?
Alright, so some of you might recognise this face and some of you might not. We're going to cover all bases. But firstly, James, what is this and what have you become?
I'm a graveler, aren't I now?
So if we wind the clock back 6 months or so, James hated disc brakes, hated tubeless. What else did you hate?
These things on the front, handlebar bags, definitely.
Whereas now you've been converted. Are you now a gravel rider?
Yeah, kind of. So basically, I watched your Dirty Reaver video and thought, surely I can do a better job than that.
Yeah, I'm not going to fall on.
So I went out and saved up and treated myself to one, and it's great. Yeah.
One by as well. That was the other
one
thing.
by. Yeah, one by. It's not a mullet though. At the back.
You learnt those words.
Them days are coming, and I'm going to grow a moustache, obviously.
Got it.
Yeah, and it's great. No cars.
Perfect, love stuff. So we're going to start on a little steady ride tonight. But for those that don't know James, we go back years, don't we, in terms of training partners, been to races and stuff. But the biggest thing we've done online together was a few weeks ago last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where you might have mentioned that you did a DECA Ironman, didn't you?
I did an Ironman a day for 10 consecutive days in just outside York.
Yeah.
And we won it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we raised loads of money for charity.
We did.
And it's been awesome since then, even.
So the point of this video is we wanted to just tell people that in case you didn't know.
Because everybody knows, everybody I meet at bus stops, everybody who's queuing up at the fish counter, basically everybody that I meet, I tell them.
But of course with all those things, it takes a while for something to happen with those fundraisers. So a combination of James's contacts, people he's hassled in every area of his life to donate money, and the kind of people who watch his videos. He raised what, £13,000?
£13,500 during the DECA.
Yeah.
And also just after the DECA we had a not a donation, but the local council committed some funding to the same thing that we're going to talk about in a minute as well. So
we're going to talk about where that's gone to, but we're also going to talk about something James has done recently in the same spirit, and then also maybe touch on or hint at some things that are going to come in future. Yeah. So let's start at the beginning then, James. Where did that money go and what's happening?
Yeah, okay, so
this conversation at home. Yeah. Where's the money gone?
Yeah, very well. So basically, I wanted to raise money for my local community, and I work in a local school, and I wanted to raise money for youth activities in my hometown. That sounds really straightforward, but it is insanely complicated actually to make that happen. So there were no youth activity providers in the town. The county council had removed funding because obviously everybody's short of funding, and basically we're a northern or northern Midlands town. There wasn't a lot of money about, so there was no facilities set up. You know, a few little scout groups and things like that, but nothing provided for the kids free of charge. So what happened is we basically set up what's called a charitable interest company in our town. So basically some local community members got together when they heard what I'd done, and we started a little committee thing, which is like my worst nightmare, and it has to be incorporated and you have to have paperwork and all that. So we made this charity basically, and then with this money, what we did is we started a Friday night youth club, which has been running for about 2 months now.
So it's actually happening. So
that's how long. Oh yeah. It started about 2 months ago. So basically, what we've done is a charitable organisation called the Old Farm Bus, who run some youth clubs in another town. They come in every Friday night to our local leisure centre. The local leisure centre is called Places Leisure, and they have donated the room free of charge for us. Yeah. And they bring in, that charity bring in facilitators to do things. So we have things like, rappers, grime artists, acro pole, cartoon drawing, graffiti drawing, self-defence, literally everything you can. Oh, crafts like you wouldn't. I didn't know there were so many crafts.
Yeah.
There's so many crafts. So these facilitators come in and they set up little workshops, and then the kids come and enjoy it and learn new skills. Maybe find out something new about themselves that they like doing, and it gets them off the streets, obviously. And it's been really successful. And it's been successful despite the fact that it took us so long that we started it at the beginning of the summer holidays. So actually it's going to get much busier because I'm going to go into the local schools and obviously tell the kids all about it. But we're having probably somewhere between high teens and mid 20s every single Friday. And obviously a lot of these kids are the type of kids that will be playing on the streets. Not that there's anything wrong with playing on the streets, but you're vulnerable then, aren't you, to other things. So we've got them indoors, we've got them learning skills, and it's great. And then also, as well as that, we've got, because once you've started a charity, all the people start to take notice. So Derbyshire County Council sent in some people, and we now have a weekly LGBTQ kids club in the town, fortnightly, sorry. And we also, on from that, nothing to do with the money that we raised for the DECA, but as a byproduct of that, there's also an LGBTQ adults club started. We're halfway through a sports club starting on a Wednesday night. I've got the people to run it, I just haven't got a room yet. So every single Wednesday evening after school there's going to be sports for kids, all put on free with this money and the money that I raised since. And because we're a charitable organisation, we can apply for grants from the government and from the lottery and all that sort of. So it's gone absolutely bananas.
So all from, if you were watching that series and you donated £1, £2, £5, or however much, that snowballs. So thank you very much, because that's led to all those things. And since then, some of you might have seen, James, you did something else as well.
Yeah, I did. So basically I wanted to do, I don't know what's the matter with me. I've set myself the target of raising £50,000 myself. So I need to do events to raise that. So if you go back and watch the videos, you'll notice that through some of Dan's contacts, we had some sports nutritionists come from Liverpool John Moores University to help me with the DECA. Basically, they became friends because when people are feeding you mashed potato and helping you get dressed,
special bond, isn't
it's a special bond. So we became friends, and they said that they really enjoyed it, but they'd like to collect some more data in a more scientific environment. So I came up with the idea of doing another event to raise money. So we did something this year, called a Quinn in a Gym.
Completely made by yourself, wasn't it?
Just made it up, yeah. So I did an Ironman a day for 5 consecutive days, but in the sports science laboratory at Liverpool John Moores University.
So we're talking no windows, no fresh air,
nothing. So basically I swam in a pool, 25-metre pool, and then I rode on a turbo trainer, and then I ran on a treadmill. And during that time, they took respirated air every 15 minutes. They took blood samples every 15 minutes. They weighed they weighed everything that went into me and everything that came out of me. And they even took muscle biopsies at the end of certain days, which was incredibly painful.
Might have to blow those out.
There's nothing painful about having a muscle biopsy, but there's something incredibly painful about having a muscle biopsy after and before another Ironman. But we did that, and I raised, we raised another £4,000. You can see those videos on another YouTube channel, which Dan has given me permission.
Hippo Triathlon, I thought you were going to forget what it's called. Hippo Triathlon channel,
you want to go on, a guy that Dan knows, a guy called Ollie. He's starting out in YouTube. He's a really nice guy. He's made some good videos. Go on there, give him a look. You can see how terrible somebody looks when they're doing Ironmans indoors.
I'll leave a link in the description down below.
Yeah, because it is horrendous. But it went really well. We raised another £4,000. And also I started to get some interest from local businesses as well, which is what we need to keep this thing going. And we're not going to stop. We've got all sorts of things planned. If you want to hear all about some of the things that I have done, you can obviously watch Dan's videos, but also a podcast has come out today. It's Back of the Old Farm Bus, episode 147.
It'll be a thing.
James Simpson. There'll be a link in the description below. You have to do this, I saw.
It could be on screen as well, though.
Yeah, or on screen, obviously. And that's me talking about all the things that I've done but there's more to come, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure people will be interested. Even if you're just on the turbo or something, maybe not tonight, but you know, when the weather turns in, no doubt a few days, there's some more stuff to come. Can we talk about anything that's to come, or is it still just plans in mind?
Do you want me to drop a?
Well, it's entirely up to you. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I need a video title. So
I'm definitely going to do something next year. That I'm
because you're limited by how many things you can actually physically do, aren't you? And then the cost of doing that thing and the challenge.
They make you very tired.
Yeah,
that's true. And yeah, there is costs. Yeah. Like even just in training, I eat more when I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? And it costs more. Yeah. But yeah, no, I've got a plan for next year. One of the things that I've realised, thanks to Dan, is that social media is really important for making things happen. So because of the work that Dan put in and Ollie put in, more people knew about the fundraising that I was doing, and so then more people got involved, and it drove this thing forward from some idiot, you know, hoping to raise 500 quid, which is what I hoped to raise when we did the DECA, to raising a lot of money and being able to get other people interested in it, and then making a difference to some people's lives. And we are making a difference to children's lives in Oldham. So one of the things I realised is if you want people to be interested, you've got to do something interesting. And everybody's heard of Guinness World Records, haven't they? So I've got this rough plan that I'm going to have a go at setting a Guinness World Record next year.
I'm glad you said that.
I won't say what the details are because it takes an enormous amount of planning. I've got like some spreadsheets.
Well, the Guinness process alone is like
it's massive, a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Obviously, I'd like Dan to be involved, and Ollie will be involved, and then all of the other people that help me hopefully will be involved, and that's the plan.
Maybe it's in like Barcelona or something.
It's very unlikely to be in Barcelona.
You asked me after the DECA what you and you asked loads of people, not just me. What do you think? What do we think you should do next? And I said, although James might look very old and decrepit, he's not actually that old. I said it's still within your ability to do things that are like records or fastest known, or you know, something where it's not a race but maybe you're going for the best ever at something. I said I feel like something like that is within your ability range, and you often doubt yourself, but I think it is.
Yeah.
You can do all this, I'll just do whatever later in life. So I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah, and I think
something more with some sort of even if you don't get it.
Yeah, like, well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these things, like people who I talk to sort of think that like it's a prerequisite that you're going to do it, and you're definitely not. I mean, you saw in the DECA, you could, like I could have stopped at almost any given moment. It's so easy not to do these things, and that's the point that I want to try my hardest. It doesn't really matter whether I do it or not. I just want to have my best shot at it and mix with loads of really cool people while I'm doing it, which is really nice, and raise loads of money. And my appetite is crazy whetted for it now. I've seen, like, I went into the youth club on Friday. It like looks awesome.
Yeah, I've seen
loads
pictures.
of people doing good stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to do more of it.
Good. So if you want to stay up to it, because James, we don't ride or train together all the time, do we?
Well,
if you want
no, you're not fast enough, are you, Dan?
If you want to keep up to date with what's going off, James has an Instagram now, believe it or not.
Yeah.
That's in the link down below, but it is triple brutal James, or triple underscore brutal.
And what I've realised is that, like, I'm not really a social media guy, but businesses are interested in it, and if I want to get, it's okay, you guys making a donation is wonderful, but you can only ask for so much from people. But businesses have more money to spend because they get more out of it. So the more Instagram followers I have, the more interested businesses are in giving me money to help kids do sports activities.
So if you're interested at all in even just following along this, please do follow them, because I'm sure there's going to be some interesting stuff to happen in the next few months. But well done for what you've done up to date. Thank you to all those who have been involved, and look forward to being a part of anything in the future.
Yeah, and well done on your season, Dan. It's been
thanks very much. I'll tell you about that in a minute. See you later.